Welcome to Crime Time News and Entertainment with a Buzz. This one is called Whenever You Have Your Little Bad Broken Picnic, They Will Embarrass You When They Are Young. They will embarrass you when they are older. They will definitely embarrass you. They will make you very ashamed. They will bring disgrace to your family's name. Such is the case of an incident that took place in a plantation. Plantation is in Florida, Northwest 70th Avenue and West Sunrise Boulevard to be specific, where it is confirmed that a 55-year-old man, Cleus Pearce, was taken away by his 27-year-old stepson. His name is Haley Selassie Richards. I guess Selassie might be turning in his grave as we speak. Based on the information, it is said that the son was there with his mother and his stepfather, mother's name not given. There was some sorts of domestic dispute. It seems as if something was brewing. This youth, wheel and pop off, blaze up the stepfather very, very badly, took away the key from his mother, jumped in her vehicle, and take away himself. While he was trying to escape, he crashed that vehicle, take away himself, running at some sorts of bushes, gone with the wind. I am going to let some neighbors and the news in Florida explain everything what took place, and then I'll give my piece.
I did, Alina. Such a difficult and emotional night for this family. Spoke with the man's son. He says his father was a family man, married more than 20 years, just a great man. He lived in the home behind me, and it's inside the home where the family says someone took his life, and they say they know who it is. Many neighbors agree.
Paul was an outstanding person, very friendly.
Their buddy Paul was a good guy.
I just knew him as Rastaman Paul, and he's just a nice guy.
Police say someone shot and killed a man Saturday at the Apple Creek 3 subdivision in Plantation. By late Saturday night, investigators said they were still searching for the shooter, but they knew who it was. Family members told NBC6 the man killed was Cleus Pearce. They say his stepson shot and killed him. His family was in tears and hugged each other a little tighter. Pearce's family says many people called him Paul. That's what William Yarrow knew him by. Yarrow is the president of the Homeowners Association.
If he saw me, he would stop, put the window down. Hi, Bill. Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Yarrow says police and SWAT officers were in his yard searching for the shooter.
I went outside. Can I help you? He says, get back inside. There's somebody we're looking for. And that's what I said. Wow. And I went back inside.
A family and now a community are shaken.
Went over to the wife. She was just grief-stricken and seems to be blaming herself somehow.
The police are investigating the shooting as domestic. Police, again, are still searching for their suspect.
So, people, you heard what the news said, and you heard what a friend, a neighbor, the president of the Homeowners Association had to say about Rasta, that is Mr. Pearce. He had absolutely not one experience with Mr. Pearce that was bad. Always smiling, always saying hi. Decent man, decent conversation all the time. You notice that the neighbor did not say anything about the son. It is either the stepfather did not mention the son. Because if you and somebody are friends or neighbors for years, you're going to always mention, yes, this is my son. He's a good boy. Rete, Lele. None of that exchange was made between Mr. Pearce and his neighbor. Nobody knows anything about the son. Was the son living at the house with the mother and stepmother? I don't know. Based on the information that is out there, it is said that the stepfather was married to the mother for in excess of 20 years. This youth is 27-year-old. That means that if he was living with the stepfather, he would have been living there for in excess of 20-something years. So pretty much this man would have grown him up. Don't know if he was living in Jamaica and then they decided to bring him up from Jamaica. This was the worst mistake that they could have ever made. It was fatal. So you hear the neighbor said, well, I went and I spoke to the wife, and she's very grief-stricken right now. She's traumatized. She is emotionally spent. Obviously, this was no sort of grievance, any sorts of argument between the mother and the stepfather and the son stepping. Not to say that it would have been justified if he took away his stepfather for that, because it would have still been murder, unless, of course, it was self-defense. But we are not getting any sorts of indication that that is the case. So just imagine how this mother feels. Losing her husband, I am assuming if he was a good man, usually when one person is good in one aspect of their life, usually it is always good. There are persons that live double life, so I am not going to say that it applies in all cases, but me just say, just imagine how the mother, the wife feels to know that her own son, flesh and blood, took away her husband that they've been married for 20-something years. If that marriage was always good, based on what the neighbor said, it was so. So you heard what the news said. The SWAT team was looking for him. I am sure that he is now on the U.S. Marshals fugitive list. There's a $10,000 reward. So maybe he is hiding in the bushes, because if I know America like I know America, especially when you do some FUCKRY like that, there are not much persons that are going to facilitate you or put you up, unless, of course, you have some sort of idle itch that is willing to do so. For $10,000 in America, your mother and your father, your auntie and your granny will sell you out. Don't even talk about the neighbors. Anybody will see you, they are going to call the Fugitive Task Force ASAP. So I know that more than likely the chances are, possibilities are, this man is going to be arrested sooner or later. Unless, of course, he does the cowardly act and take away himself like he did the cowardly act and take away his stepfather. But I am sure that most persons want to see him getting arrested and facing the full brunt of the law. So it just shows you the selfishness, the evilness, and the demonicness of Jamaicans, whether they are in Jamaica or overseas. This is tragedy, tragedy, tragedy. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, the video that you just saw at the start of this, is along Barbican Road, where it is said that at about 6 p.m. there was a curfew implemented. And this is based on a shooting that took place in which 3 persons lost their life. One person, the owner of a business in which the 3 persons got conned up. Her name is Ashley. She was rushed to the hospital. She succumbed to her injuries. The next person was taken out right on the spot. A next man is in the hospital being treated. Based on the information, it is said that at about 1 to 2 p.m., some men, 2 to be specific, rolled up on a bike, ordered something, wheel and pop off, blaze up all 3 persons that were in that business. It is said that Ashley, the lady that lost her life, 1 lady, 2 men, 1 gone, 1 still battling for his life in the hospital as we speak. She is said to be the target. Based on the police information, it is said that this is because of some sort of reprisal. If you remember, maybe about a week or 2 ago, a man was dropping off his daughter or son in a pro box when he was approached by gunmen on bike again. He was blaze up, jump on the bike, and take with himself. So the police said that they are implementing this curfew because they fear of more reprisal. Now, people, what this tells you, whenever you live in any sorts of garrison and you and anybody have any sorts of problem, the minute you lose your life, person are always going to be pointing fingers at that person. So I am assuming the man that lost his life had some sorts of argument, altercation with somebody. So immediately after he lost his life, they probably don't know if he had problems with anybody else. That is a possible, but me just say, I am just showing you whenever you live in a Jamaica, especially in a volatile communities, whenever you get any sort of threat, you should take that threat very seriously, because if you don't, it will come back and haunt you. And then when one man loses his life, it is always going to be tit for tat, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. The reprisal is just going to continue until infinity, until it seems everybody is wiped out. But hopefully there'll be some sorts of intervention by the JCF or intervention from the man up above. And these people will come to their senses and seize this war that it seems just popping off in the infantile stage, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is an update about a story that I spoke about maybe about a week or so ago, in which two persons were arrested along the Priory main road that is in St. Anne. They were charged for at least £3,000 of ganja, the stickity ickity, the Bob Marley. They are 56-year-old Andrew Adderley. He is from Long Island, that is in the Bahamas. He is said to be a fisherman. The next person, 27-year-old Ronique Scott from St. Anne, don't know his employment, possibly smuggling. Based on information from the Popo, it is said that about 4 a.m. in the morning, they saw two vehicles, a tractor trailer. Tractor trailer had what seems to be a 56-gallon tank of oil, definitely for the boat, the speedboat, cigarette boat they call it. It was also towing a truck. That truck had some bags, some parcels, specifically 3,000 pounds of weed and 56 kilograms of cocaine. 56 pounds of cocoa. That means about 25 kilograms of cocoa. Based on the information, it is said that the Popo signaled them to stop. The person that was driving the trailer, him jump out, take for himself, run to the hills, run in the bushes. These two men were arrested, taken into custody, and they are officially charged. They are charged for conspiracy to export cocoa and weed, attempting to export cocoa and weed, and also conspiracy. Now, people, here's the thing. That Priory main road is the main road that goes, whether you're going to Montego Bay, you're going to Falmouth, you're going to Trelawney, or you're going the opposite direction, going to Ocho Rios, St. Anne's, you're going to St. Mary, going to Portland. It is the main road that you have to take if and when you are going to anywhere or one of those destinations. The fastest route, it is very smooth. However, whenever the Popo see a tractor trailer drawing a truck, it is going to raise suspicions, I guess. The truck probably shut down and then the trailer decided to drag it because of the content that was aboard. The police is definitely going to see something wrong with that. It is always going to raise some sorts of red flag, and such is the case. So those two men were arrested, like I told you, the driver of the tractor trailer that was dragging the truck. Him jump out, run, and take for himself. However, I am sure that they are going to catch him on the next move. Now, when you think about 120 million Jamaican dollars, that is just short of 1 million US dollar. And that is probably the value here in Jamaica. When it reached Bahamas, where I am sure that it was destined, and from Bahamas transition back in the United States, more than likely, that figure is going to go up drastically. So we are speaking about Boku cash. We can come to the assumption that these persons are no sorts of little fish. There may are some big fish, orca, or even jaws to the bottom of the sea. However, they were stopped in a them track. Like the saying goes, man a plan, God a wipe out. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.